versus SEO Escanor, both offlaners. Well, offlaner and support for Colleen right here,
Mhm.
and Escanor is just a solid offlaner. Again, with the beautiful lighting and fierce shots. Like, look how beautiful their noses are.
High quality HD.
Right, right.
Right?
Quality right there.
Yeah, and I'm expecting a lot of bans coming in from BREN EPRO. We have seen them on to day one of the Nationals banning Zhong, Hilda, Johid, having the ban rate of 100% for their 2 games. Now, there's a potential for them to pick or pull through to get the hyper carry potential for KarlTzy to be picked off maybe a Brody or a Ling, these sorts of setup to come through for BREN EPRO. And I'm expecting big time to happen when it comes to the draft games because if you have the advantage in the draft, you're gonna have the advantage even before the game has started, right? So I think it is gonna be maybe a minor part of the whole game, but it will surely lead you maybe to an advantage later on, maybe a 20% advantage if you have the advantage in the draft.
Speaking of draft, I actually once had a discussion with a co-caster, and he believes that 70% draft, 30% execution. Me, on the other hand, I think 70% is too much, but at the same time, 50-50 is too even, you know? So for me, it's 60-40. 60% draft and 40% execution. That's like the fair or the perfect ratio for me. Selena gonna be the first ban from STI, and BREN EPRO already banning out that Brody.
Mhm. And the Brody ban here is because STI Olympians has the first pick. They have the blue side selection. So if BREN EPRO do leave this up, Brody would most probably be picked out by STIE Olympians, and we have seen it in the series number 1, right? Smart Omega didn't ban Brody, so CUW picked out Brody first pick. So I think BREN EPRO having the Brody first ban here is actually quite crucial and understandable when it comes to draft picks. But with that said, STIE Olympians banning out the Selena and Natalia early on. They want to remove the early game potential or the annoying fighters and assassins to the side of BREN EPRO.
I actually don't know why, but my instincts tell me that BREN EPRO will leave Uranus open. I don't know. That's just my instincts, but let's wait and see. STI Olympians third ban, they are still thinking about it, but on your screens right now, this is the BREN EPRO team that will play today. You have FlapTzy, Pheww, KarlTzy, Coco, and Ejhay. Not Brody, Barat's gonna be banned out by STIE Olympians. So let's see if BREN, who will you ban out at this point? You could ban out one offlaner or one tank just to make sure that the pool will be smaller for STIE Olympians.
If BREN EPRO does ban Johid, I could see a potential for BREN EPRO to lock into Ling later on. We have seen it into the game 1, and there it is! Exactly as predicted. And this might be an opening for BREN EPRO to get a Ling and maybe a Pharsa to follow through for the support. So this is gonna be very interesting, and let's see how STI Olympians utilize the blue side selection. What will be their first pick for their team? Are they gonna prioritize the fighter or maybe hyper carry?
Ooh, Zhong being hovered right there. I told you. BREN EPRO is gonna keep Uranus open. They could get him, but you guys have to remember that Esmeralda is open, and that is a really quick clock in by FlapTzy. They could go with another tank, which is gonna be Khufra. So, wow. First 2 picks already very heavy on CCs and sustain.
Prioritizing the sustainable heroes would mean STI Olympians doesn't have any idea on what BREN EPRO hyper carry would be. Now there's a potential for STI Olympians to put them on draft, put an advantage against them on draft, but the mystery is just there. This is what I like when it comes to the draft picks. The mystery behind what's going on in people's heads, what's going on when it comes to strategies, and having that Ling and Pharsa for STI Olympians with synergy for the Zhong could really be punishable against BREN EPRO.
Told you he is gonna pick that Lance, and I do agree with what you said. But now looking at the second and third pick from STI, it is gonna be a Pharsa and a Ling. To which KarlTzy answered with a Lancelot. So it's gonna be another Lance versus Ling for this series apparently. Well, game 1 at least. But actually gonna be banned out by BREN EPRO. So no anti-heals and no very tanky tank that will literally roll around the map. Uranus gonna be banned out by STI Olympians.
I do like how BREN EPRO is targeting the tank role against STI Olympians, having this draft picks at the moment for the first 3 picks of STI Olympians. They really need to have a tank with Ling. We have Pharsa. They need those frontliners to be sustainable. They need to be tanky. And BREN EPRO is targeting this exact role that STI Olympians need.
And I guess that's the reason why they chose Cooper early on. Because Esmeralda actually, she still counts as a tank. Just so they won't have any other problems towards the latter part of the pick and draft. Akai, like what you said, they are heavily focusing on STI Olympians' tank hero pool. So let's see who will STI Olympians ban out this time. They just need to ban out one Offlaner. And that is going to be a Tom's show though, is open for BREN EPRO.
Indeed. What would be the 4th and 5th pick? The Khaleed is available. Now, this is gonna be super surprising if BREN EPRO doesn't actually lock in to the Khaleed, having to ban Baxia already. This is actually a good pick for the side of BREN EPRO.
Lunox being hovered. Oh, I haven't seen Carmilla in a long time. So let's see if they're gonna lock that in. But oh, they did. And a hover on Lunox. I don't think Lunox is a valid pick here. I mean, yes, Carmilla can be very tanky, but at the early game, it's literally gonna be all about Zhong just soaking up on damage. Lunox, when it comes to damage output, yes, she does hurt a lot. But you have to remember that she will be up against an Esmeralda with a lot of shields, with a Stardust stats. Lancelot with Bermuda Triangle. That's what I call it for the Jukes. So he can just evade Lunox, and you have a Khufra that can just literally jump on you whenever you are gonna try to do something or gonna try to target him. Ejhay hovering over the Kagura.
Massive mobility and burst damage potential.
Yeah, Aurora being hovered as well. I would have to go with wait. I'm going for either Board or Aurora, solely because it takes a lot of time for Kagura to go online. But you know what? If they want to use Kagura, that's okay as well. Instead, wow, Kadita, second time being picked today.
Surprise! We have the Kadita once again for the game, for the Nationals. It's gonna be very interesting how we see these heroes be utilized in game.
So again, for the lineup, solely just looking at the lineup, okay, I would have to give it to BREN EPRO solely because they're the ones that has a more standard and balanced draft. But how about you, Infinity?
I actually do agree with the jam-packed tournament power picks to the side of BREN EPRO. I think they really have the advantage here against STI Olympians, and STI Olympians is really more on the glass cannon composition that we've been talking about the whole day. And it's something that is very interesting how they would scale off into the mid game, because if you cannot actually get pick-offs, BREN EPRO is gonna scale you, landslide you early on.
That is true. So you have FlapTzy on that Khaleed. So again, let's just see how things are gonna pan out. You have, of course, KarlTzy with his signature Lancelot, and they are just throwing out random stickers of different teams. Look how happy and enjoying these players are. You have KarlTzy with the early game pressure on the lane, gonna clear out those waves. Deb just gonna make sure Ejhay will not hold his ground. Rather, Escanor versus Coco. Oh my. Early on, I suggest that this Zhong should not try to pressure Esmeralda. Wait for level 4 and then do something. But first, if he's confident with that Zhong, it's okay, fine by me. But here you have Ejhay who's taking a lot of damage, but Pheww and KarlTzy does decide to say hello, and Yatto and Deb forced to go back, but Yatto receiving a lot of damage. KarlTzy, he is just probably scaring off the enemies this early on, just to make sure to, just shoot him away.
And I do agree. You don't traditionally just hard push the wave, because if you do, there is a potential for the enemy team to just gank you, and you are more or less not gonna escape with the CC chains of BREN EPRO to emphasize that advantage that they have. And if Zhong just keeps on hard pushing without the Black Dragon form, there's no escape route. With the Vengeance spell as well, no flicker for Zhong.
He is gonna have to, be very worried whenever he is gonna try and take out Coco. Like right now, you have KarlTzy, Coco, and Ejhay just at the sides. KarlTzy popping the ultimate just to make sure that no one is hiding at the top side brush. And after getting the top lane crab, they are probably gonna go to the other parts for the neutral jungle creeps and maybe go to the buff or go back to the mid lane. But still, they're pressuring Coco. FlapTzy here at the bot lane against Dian and Lunox, but no casualties so far for both teams. And I guess both teams just want to, get as much map vision, map awareness as much as they can, get the levels up, get the items in before actually trying to go with the push. I actually like this Lunox skin. Sadly, I don't have it.
But it's actually quite interesting to see that we are about to go to the 3-minute mark to have the turtle up without any casualties, without any kills for any of the side of the team of the matchup that we have for today. STI EOLYMPIANS, BREN EPRO is just happy to farm in the jungle and in the lanes.
Also, I actually like the fact that they gave Khaleed to FlapTzy. Man, TZ, man. It's ruining my brain. Anyway, FlapTzy excels. And when I say excel, I really mean hella excel at heroes that can stay on the lane as long as he wants. He can go 2v1 and he can just take care of himself. That is why sustain off lane is perfect for him. Ooh, Ejhay already popping the ultimate, but Pheww already starting that first blood, and Fredit Airs are gonna be popped, but not much casualties for the side of BREN EPRO, and here Escanor in the middle of everything. He's being CC'd, being knocked up, and that is another kill going over to this Pheww, and BREN EPRO already giving a start to Turtle, and that is a 2-0 in favor of BREN, and maybe a Turtle to top it off, but I do suggest STI, they should try and contest it. But here at the bot lane, Yatto already taking out the shields from the bot lane, and FlapTzy actually got caught off guard there, and he does die in the hands of STI. Pheww a bit late to the party, but the least he can do though is clear out the winning waves and try to steal the crab coin, which he was not able to do. So here at the mid lane, man, Ejhay versus Dev, 2 tanks. How long will the fight be?
Amazing response coming in for the side of STI EOLYMPIANS. They were saying, yes, you could have the turtle, but we are gonna get more gold in the turret shield. And that is exactly what they do as we head into mid lane as KarlTzy initiate the fight.
Ooh, KarlTzy being caught out, but he actually does not care for the Earthquake top right there. He is gonna stay at the back parts of the map, but I love what FlapTzy did there. He cancelled the for the airstrike, and STI EOLYMPIANS was forced to go back. Coco already, getting as much shield as he can, making sure Zhong, Escanor will not go anywhere near his team, already popping that ultimate. But look at the damage coming in from Coco. Ejhay does a hilo, but he got knocked up, and Escanor there at the back line. So yeah, this is a 2v3 situation, but looks like STI is holding out just fine. But here the bot lane, no one is actually holding out that fine. And look at the bodies just hitting the floor. Dian does get taken out, and KarlTzy was the one that took him down. Kramm, what are you gonna do? You are being sandwiched by 2 people. You have minion wave near the turret, and that is another kill being secured by KarlTzy. And the quick TP from FlapTzy. Coco gonna use that TP as well, the top lane. But Ling was able to get the buff at least, and KarlTzy chasing out Deb. Ultimate did not connect. Deb still gets to live another day, but you can see right now, 5-minute mark, almost 6 minutes, BREN EPRO, they can move around the map as freely as they can, as they want, I mean.
Sustainable composition against a glass cannon composition enables you to do what BREN EPRO is doing, to just go for simultaneous attacks against STI EOLYMPIANS. There was a matchup happening in the top lane and in the bot lane as well. This is the type of play that BREN EPRO is doing against STIE Olympians and so far benefiting them.
Oh my goodness, Dian actually melted at the mid lane. I mean, you have 3 people going up against you. What are you gonna do, right? Dev was the one that got targeted, but he was able to get away. And Carmilla is actually pretty mobile. But here, Escanor versus Pheww. Ooh, the damage coming from Escanor is actually hurting a lot now. But Coco, he just decided to focus on the turret. Actually, one thing that I heard from their coach, Coach Ducky, he said there are things that some people don't notice on about Coco. I mean, sometimes yes, he dies. Sometimes he kind of pays the price. But if you look closely, he does not have any turrets down from his side. He always clears out the minion waves, and he gets the job done. So even though he's not the flashy kind of offlaner, he was still able to, help his team in the sense that he always puts his guard up for the lane. You have actually four people going up against you, and he got stunned. Oh no, he cannot actually move there at all. Coco does go down, but the problem here is STI. They committed a tad bit too much of ultimates and resources just to take out one Esmeralda.
Oh, another fight.
Oh, well, look at that. Killing spree coming over the KarlTzy. They were able to take out that Deb, and the Pharsa got taken out as well. Yatto gonna use that thing to jump away, but they're being chased down. That's a double kill being secured by KarlTzy. Oh my goodness, 4-0-3. Almost at the 8-minute mark, and they will be able to steal the buff as well. Yatto, no choice. He needs to fly around. FlapTzy did try to chase him. KarlTzy gonna pop up that ultimate, but Kramm pops his ultimate as well, but KarlTzy still chasing him down. He actually does not care if he gets a few third hits, but Lunox still gets to live another day, and FlapTzy still chasing down Yatto. Ben Coco trying to steal the buff, but Yatto stole the buff for himself. FlapTzy, man, look at these two. Look at the side steps. Look how Yatto is gonna dance right there. That was actually a really good mind game. He knew that FlapTzy was gonna pop the ultimate, but he just went the other way. So Yatto gets to live another day, and FlapTzy had his ultimate down. However, KarlTzy was able to get the turtle and miss all of that chaos.
The fancy footwork from Yatto just saves his life and just let him live to another day. But BREN EPRO looking to be aggressive in mid lane.
Oh, look at that. Unstoppable is for KarlTzy, and the knockup coming in from STI Olympians. They do have enough CC. Single target CC at least, but Escanor there at the front line. I told you, the damage from Escanor is a problem right now, and a shutdown onto KarlTzy make that a double kill, but looks like Escanor, he's being boxed in. Coco and FlapTzy chasing him down, but he gets to live another day. Mega coming over to Pheww and Deb. He has no choice. He gets knocked off airborne, and you have 1v3. Coco jumps straight to his face, and that is a double kill for BREN EPRO. Coco, but Yatto at the top lane able to take out that top lane turret. You gonna pop that second skill, but man, Ling hurts apparently, and Coco just gonna stay there at the bot lane. He could actually stay there a bit and take out the bot lane turret, but Dian still gonna clear out the wave along with Yatto, and they were able to do so. Next objective is gonna be up in 35 seconds, and this battle being picked up by KarlTzy. Tad bit too late, but I guess better late than never. Dian gonna fly out to his safety, and KarlTzy as well as FlapTzy, they just want to steal the buff. Then, deny Ling of actually snowballing, deny Ling of any advantage at all. Ejhay jumping in, immediately going over to bouncing ball mode, but looks like he was the one that got taken out. He paid the price for it. That was actually a questionable jump, but at least KarlTzy was able to take out Lunox. They need one more kill to be able to balance things out. Coco already taking the Holy Crystal, so that's more damage and more sustain for this Esmeralda.
Overextending, it would not be the answer at the moment that BREN EPRO has the advantage. So it's going to be very difficult for them to just try and dive, because STI Olympians has a Zhong, could do a knock up. Yatto has the Tempest Ablaze that could also knock up the enemy team. So it's going to be very difficult for BREN EPRO to just keep on diving. Yes, they have the advantage, but still, the CC potentials could lead them in a very bad situation, such as the engagement that we had a while ago, wherein they were fighting under the turret, and imagine how the damage is like a sixth member of STI Olympia just putting out, dealing or dashing damage against BREN EPRO.
That is actually true. Antikiras being picked up by Ejhay right here. Ejhay already charging the first skill, but he just decided to cancel it. Dev, face check. That is gonna cost you your death. It is revitalize and it will jump in. But then the thing from this Carmilla is actually something. He did jump into KarlTzy. He actually got taken out. And from there, that is something that SEO Olympians can utilize or can, put things in their favor. And because of EPRO is forced to go back. Main waves though from the top side is pushing towards the side of STI Olympians. And BREN EPRO, they will probably just wait for KarlTzy to respond. But that was a really good catch from STI. The moment you take out KarlTzy, that is gonna be very painful, literally. For BREN EPRO, Escanor is gonna try and fight against Ejhay because he was on bouncy goal mode. They popped ultimate, gonna get knocked up. I really think Ejhay should not have been there, but I guess he wanted to go with the face check.
I do agree, and it's actually quite difficult. And for BREN EPRO at the moment, we're in STI Olympians is just dominating the game in the mid game, so it's actually quite crucial. And I like how STI Olympians is just putting out the focus target on the KarlTzy.
Ooh, Coco able to get that one kill, but he did just flicker. But Kramm, Lunox in darkening mode is not something you want to see at your back when you're retreating. So Coco actually got taken out as well. KarlTzy can be before anything else. He could try and contest this, but how can you do that when you have a Yatto and a Dev and a Kramm gonna try to box you in? He actually got taken out by Ling right there, and KarlTzy literally just got out of their alive, immediately dies, and SEO Olympians, they are gonna get this Lord non-contested.
Time and time again, KarlTzy is keep on getting picked off by STI Olympians. Yes, the Lord is crucial, but you don't have Ejhay with you. You don't have Pheww with you. So it's gonna be very difficult to try and just contest this without a 5-man team compared to STI Olympians, which has a full member draft taking on that Lord. And imagine, BREN EPRO has the advantage when it comes to turrets available for them. They have 5 turrets taken down against STI Olympians. So STI only has 3. So it's actually quite interesting what BREN EPRO is doing, having that hyper aggression towards the Lord.
So the advantage is now at the blue side, and they're actually just waiting outside the game of BREN EPRO. Efforts are gonna be popped right there, and they did use the skill, but the first skill, but he actually got cancel right there. FlapTzy coming in from the back line, and Yatto was able to take out the FlapTzy, and look at the Pheww, he's just literally hitting the floor. Pheww does get taken out, making that a triple kill for Yatto, and Dian does get taken out, but SEO Olympians able to get that game number 1. I am surprised because I was not prepared to shoutcast that fast-paced last clash. If
Yeah.
you notice, but then the targeting,
You were rapping.
the priority on KarlTzy, it paid off. And here's the thing, KarlTzy, he usually enters the clash from the back line, but STI, they saw that coming. Thus, they were able to prepare his entrance, and if you notice, FlapTzy was the first one that got taken out in the clash. From there, it was KarlTzy. Coco was able to get 1 kill, but he died. Eventually, Pheww died as well, and that was just a really, really calculated game in favor of STI. By the way, both teams have 16 kills. What up? That was very close.
Yeah, and just the overextension of KarlTzy just brought the game down for BREN EPRO. It was something that they had to pay the price for, and they did, because STI Olympians won the game 1. Now for the game 2, I think the changes they could do is something that they won't be super hyper aggressive, not take huge risk that would have maybe little rewards, because their dive isn't really that important. They could just split push, take more turrets, get the advantage. The dive is just getting them the security, but not necessarily the advantage that they could have by taking objectives rather than kills.
Yeah, and speaking of dives, we highlighted this earlier. There were a handful of questionable dives from Ejhay. There was no one on his sides, but he will jump in front of the enemy, and he won't even use bouncing ball immediately. He's just literally gonna knock them up. Afterwards, he's not gonna do anything. So basically, that is gonna be a easy kill for the side of STI. But I guess just small miscomps here and there from the team, but game one and the first point for this best of three second series is gonna go over to STI. And I don't know, that was a very energetic way of starting the second series, you know? Because they actually showed us something different. And guys, you're watching the highlights right now, FlapTzy, with the dives and Kramm just, panicking because they're main waves, they're chasing me, and KarlTzy able to secure those kills. Speaking of KarlTzy, he was not able to get the kills in towards the late part of the game because I mean, how can you move around when there's literally like 3 or 4 people trying to catch you? But like what we said, good priority targets from STI.
And look at this. 7 minutes into the game, BREN EPRO has what? 4-5k gold lead? But they keep on diving. Those unnecessary dives rather than just going for objectives, going for more permanent advantage rather than getting kills, which would more or less be diminishing returns later on, because gold would not be important end game if all the teams or all the members participants are all locked in terms of items.
That is true. Oh, this is a double kill for Escanor. I believe that this was the fight that allowed him to snowball. However, Dev kind of overstayed the welcome, and that was the moment Coco was able to turn things around. And yeah, the micros coming in from both teams are very, very good, and I would love to see a game 3. And I'm just, STI Olympians, they improved a lot. Like, regardless if they have a new lineup now, regardless if they have new players, it's nice to see anyone that's playing ML improve after months, weeks of playing, of sweating. Like, they think it's easy to play Mobile Legends. It's actually not, especially if you're in the pro scene, because the pressure is different and they are in a different caliber, basically.
Just the coordination of both of these teams are just top notch. It's just basing or boiling down to who would make a mistake first. Well, I make a mistake so that the enemy team could potentially make a comeback play. That is exactly what happened. And right now, the MVP of the game would be Yatto, the Ling of STI Olympians.
KDA 707, kill participation 88%, hero damage 35,008, turret damage 13,792, and damage taken only 23,245. So one of the things I noticed is early game, you can't see him. Like, he's John Cena or something. You won't see him doing anything, but he is very disciplined to not give out his location in the map, and he's very disciplined to just stick with the rotation, get the farm, get the buff. Mid part of the game, his buff got stolen twice, but after that, he was still able to recuperate and carry his team to victory. And in the last clash, you guys saw he was able to get a triple kill. So that was like the cherry on top of the icing for game number 1. But that was a beautiful way to open our series number 2. I would love to see more from STI, and I would love to see the adjustments that BREN EPRO will do. But for now, guys, we're gonna jump into a quick break. Just a really, really quick break. We have been your casters. I'm Yuko alongside Miss Infinity, and we will see you in a bit.